Jeff WITTEK, Tana Mongeau, and TRISHA PAYTAS all recently sat down and recorded an episode for Just Trish and for Jeff FM. Jeff's episode was posted this week, and the three of them took a big trip down memory lane, going over the timeline of how him and Trisha got to this very point. And honestly, it's crazy. The two of them are even able to sit together in a room in Trisha's house of all places, with the way that things used to be pretty dramatic between the two of them. Years ago, they had a lot of back and forth, with Trisha and Jeff talking about each other, and Trisha had even gone off on Jeff at one point, shortly after she was out of the vlog squad. They had a little run-in with each other at Starbucks, and it's where all the drama between them began. Trisha had gone on the Zach Sang show and talked about this one time where she saw him at the Starbucks once she was out of the vlog squad, and he left without getting his drink because he saw her, and she claims he was so scared he just bolted. She said on the show that she didn't have a problem with him. He joined the squad at the tail end of her being in it, so she found the whole thing so bizarre. After she talked about it on the Zach Sang show, Jeff ended up talking about the situation and his side of the story on the podcast with Scott, and he said that he basically left and made it awkward for her because he doesn't respect her because she effed over a friend of his.
Somebody's going around on all these radio shows talking about how I saw them in Starbucks and I didn't acknowledge them, and I turned around and walked out of the Starbucks without even making eye contact with this person because I don't have any respect for them. And if somebody over one of my friends, I don't even make eye contact with them. I don't respect that person. I'm not going to fake a handshake to avoid an awkward situation. I'm not going to see you out and pretend like, oh, hey, how you doing? Just to avoid that little awkward moment. I'm going to make it more awkward because you over my friend. Now, I can't just go around assaulting everybody because then I'd be in jail. And that's not the right thing to do. We just like to make things awkward. We get a nice little thing to talk about on the podcast. But I don't know how getting dissed at a Starbucks is content for some people.
Trisha ended up seeing what Jeff said and tweeted out saying, he said he wants to make things awkward. Well, let's go. Let's get real effing awkward. She ended up going off on him on her Instagram story, saying she was going to post a video soon and was going to talk all about this.
Hey, Jeff, guess what? You're a disgusting little Jeff WITTEK, David Dobrik, Jason Nash, Vlog Squad. Y'all are little. I have a video coming out in 5 minutes. Get your pants ready, you disgusting piece of. Don't tell me I disrespected any of your friends, you little punk. Jeff, you don't know me. You were at the hospital the night I went to the mental hospital. You're a little and you have so much dirty on you. Everything. You're nastiest little dumb. You think I've disrespected David and Jason? Are those the friends you're talking? Oh, you have no idea what you're talking about. And the whole world will know. David and Jason, you think I disrespected them? You wait.
Trisha did go off, that's for sure, as she live reacted to what Jeff had to say to her in a video that she posted to her channel.
Jeff! I'm so happy someone made a video about this. How did I over your friend? Please tell me how I over one of your friends. Are you talking about David or are you talking about Jason? Please tell me how I over one of your friends.
And so now it's just crazy to see that they're able to sit down in Trisha's home and talk about everything, because this isn't even the only issue they ever even had. Jeff and Trisha also had drama because she was the one who kind of made it more publicly known something had happened to Jeff's eye, because when he went on Frenemies after the Insider article came out about David, he was defending David, and Trisha ended up asking him about his eye and if David had anything to do with it. And at the time, he didn't want to talk about it yet. He was still embarrassed about it. But like I said in my last video about them, Jeff ended up thanking Trisha for bringing light to the situation because it helped him see David's true colors quicker, which made him actually end up being able to sue David. But on Jeff FM, they were able to talk about the whole Starbucks drama and get some closure on that whole thing.
We had an infamous run-in at Starbucks.
Yeah, this was about 2 months after the exile.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, it was April of 2019, I remember.
So I guess the way I feel about everybody in that crew that chose a side against me, you know, that's how you felt towards me. And then what I did just added that much more on top of it because I purposely, well, you look at it in a different way. You say you punked me out of there, which is a funny narrative too. I think it's funny that like,
because you were always built up as like, Jeff's so scary. He went to prison. He's this bad. And then you just like left because I went into Starbucks.
Well,
I was like,
first
oh my
of
God,
all, what am I going to do to a woman? Like, I'm not going to go.
No, wait, what? I thought you were gonna say hi because I thought we were always cool. Like truly, I thought we were cool.
We were,
Wait,
but
what
also you had a
happened?
breakup with my friend, and you were targeting some of my friends at the time online. And we, at the time, that group is like, don't get involved in drama, don't even feed into it like we were above it or some
But
shit.
we were at Starbucks and I wasn't filming.
The saddest part of the whole thing is that Trisha thought for a second that when she saw Jeff at the Starbucks, there was like some glimmer of hope for her to possibly get back in the vlog squad. And then he just basically stomped all over her chances by leaving immediately upon seeing her. And Jeff definitely felt bad after hearing her say this.
And I was excited because I didn't want to be out of the group. I really wanted to be back in that group so bad. I missed it. I was having like PTSD. I was just like, oh man, I want to be back in there. So when I saw you and I thought we were always cool, I was like, oh, this is like, he's going to be like, oh, I saw Trish. She was nice. So I was like, yeah, it's going to be a nice exchange.
Damn.
And then I was like, oh my God.
And now I realize what I did to you. I gave you like I hit you at the cool kids table and like, oh, you can't come in yet, like.
Yeah, very much.
But
And I
I
was
didn't
like, wait,
view
you
it
just
as
joined
that.
this group. You were only like 6 months in. I'm like,
I
why
know.
are you big timing me?
I know. Who the I think I was.
But all is turned around for these two, and they're all good, at least in this episode, because Jeff admitted that he was really nervous to come on the podcast with Trisha at first, but they both were able to get some closure from their drama, bond over the way the Vlog Squad treated them, tried to gaslight them, and paint them out as liars, that's for sure.
When I did your show, I was super
Nervous?
I was freaking out. Yeah.
No, I always was. I was excited. I really was because it just, again, it's like something that it's like such a blast from the past. And it's like, just like we never ever talked about any of it. So for me, it's like, we kind of said it's like therapeutic in a way. Like, oh, someone else felt this way. Someone else was called crazy when we're so different and our situations were so different. And it's like, it wasn't just me. It was like this like weird cult brainwashed mentality that made, because I really did struggle that year. Like I really did think I was crazy. So I just kept going crazier and crazier because I was like, well, this is just me. This is, I have to people have to deal with me. I'm just crazy. And then I would go to these like facilities and they're like, no, you're like not crazy. Like this is what's going on with you.
It's good to see that they were able to come together after everything. It's just so hilarious to me how the Starbucks drama went down and how intense it was to both parties at the time. And now they can just have a little laugh about it and sit and bond and all of that. But something else that was going on during this episode was that Trisha kept praising Tana and Jeff's friendship, talking about how she loved how supportive they were of each other, and brought up the fact that when she was in the Vlog Squad, they never came to support her when she did her sold out live shows, and totally threw some shade at Scott during this.
Not one of them came to my tour when I was on tour in 2018.
That's
crazy.
Not even the guy I was dating. I was like, oh my God, how are
No
you not
way,
gonna
for
show up?
real?
Not one. And I sold out every show because I was in that group. And so everyone was like, David's going to come to Chicago. And he came to like everyone's show and like no one.
That's crazy. That is actually crazy.
And they went to everybody's little thing, every Scotty Shire's shitty show at the amphitheater. I was like, what the and you're not going to come to mine and actually like sold out? I was like, that's crazy.
Jeff admitted that he wasn't sticking up for anyone in that group, but admits that Scott is one of the ones who is actually nice to him still. But in talking about the squad, Trisha says that she's thankful that she got away from them and Jason stopped associating with her because looking back, she sees how they treated her and knows that she didn't need that.
Yeah. But aren't you happy that David told Jason not to hang out with you anymore?
Oh my God. Could you imagine? Yes. Like, could you imagine if
Yeah.
That was the most depressing time of my life, actually. Like, it really was. Like, I thought I was, like, so, like, in love, and it was actually, like, so depressing, and I was just constantly being told, like, you're eating too much. Like, how can you eat that fast food? Like, you're so disgusting. And I'm just like, and I'm like, he loves me. It's so stupid.
Damn.
Like, there's so many compilations of him just being like, put the nuggets down. How can you eat that much? Aren't you
I've
gonna get
seen them
sick?
all 6 times.
Jesus Christ. Here, I'm like, we're in love.
And it's like, that's crazy. That's
No, like, they actually hated me, which is actually insane.
It's weird how people get like these characters and then it becomes like a joke that we even like they would even like do. Was it off camera or was it just
Off camera, and I would always say, like, can you not make comments about my weight? Like, I was like smaller back then. I'm like, I'm so sensitive about it.
They later decided that they were going to rank their old Vlog Squad friends from best to worst, and they had a lot to say about Jonah.
He was never nice to me.
Oh, was he rude or just not nice?
Just like, I don't know. I just don't feel like he has ever liked me.
Yeah, same.
Like, I would say out of everyone.
I
Like,
love
out of
that they're
everyone
all getting
on
the
this
smoke
list.
right now. This is Judgment Day. You deserve this,
I was
all
gonna
of
say
you.
Brandon was so nice to me, but the opposite. I didn't know what you said.
I've
Made
held
He was. You were.
I've held my tongue all this time. I let everybody else slide. But you know
so
what? I
bad.
love this.
Now, in the middle of them ranking people, there was some information that was brought up. They were talking about the documentary that Jeff had made about his accident, and he said that Jonah didn't want him to do it at first because it was going to make David look bad. And Jeff revealed some new information about the documentary, saying that at one point when he was fresh out of surgery, all David and Natalie cared about was being able to make edits and changes to make David look better, and included text messages that don't make Natalie look good at all.
He didn't even have your back like privately.
Nah, he didn't want me to make the documentary. He was like, that's going to make David look bad.
But David was a part of it.
Well, I let him edit it and literally he had me change lines in it, you know? I got a funny, like a video because, you know, all my people around me that are not like creators and like influencers, whatever, they're just watching this and so they were like, yo, this is crazy. I just got out of surgery. My eye's bleeding, stitched up, and they're coming over to edit. And they're like, I was asleep and they're like calling my crew. And they're like, so what's going on? Like with Jeff, we need to see the edit. And they're like, he just got out of surgery. He's like asleep. And like, can we come by and like do the edit?
So scary.
So I had to like get up and go sit in the chair. And I'm just sitting there with my eye bleeding. And David and Natalie are at the computer. And it's just like, oh.
What?
Yeah.
That's like
so
scary.
So I had some people around that were like, this is so bad. I don't know how Jeff doesn't see it as that it's this bad right now. So he took videos of it, and there's just like these creepy videos of us sitting next to each other editing.
The texts that Jeff included were the ones that his team got from Natalie at the time, and the conversation says, "Hi, I just saw Jeff's tweet. Don't want to bother him, but how'd the edits turn out? Good, we cut the screenshots and changed some verbiage. He's in bad shape today though. Okay, cool. Did you guys add the teaser stuff for the positive note at the end? Hi, talked to Jeff yesterday and don't want to bother him or really anyone too much, but can't help checking in. How's everything looking for him and the next ep? Good. Gonna try and have it done and posted by tomorrow. Okay, dope. Don't want to stress anyone out, but would love to see it. Any chance we can come by? It's not ready. Tomorrow morning would be better, or later, maybe later tonight." Like, what do you mean? They told her he's in bad shape and she responded saying, okay, cool. Like, what? This is actually so crazy to see that this was what was being said at the time. But that's some of what was said about the Vlog Squad in this episode. Clearly not making them look any better. That is for sure. I mean, at one point, Tana was even talking about having some really damaging information about Todd, but she didn't say what it was. And I mean, they were definitely trolling people, saying who they liked, saying who they didn't like, calling people out. And Jeff was living for it. He was loving the fact that they were going in on the Vlog Squad because he felt like he's been going in on them for so long. So to see Trisha and Tana also talk about them in this way was bringing him all the smiles. But I certainly want to know what you guys think about all of this. Plus the fact that Jeff and Trisha were able to talk out their Starbucks drama. Let me know if you guys remember all of that going down and what you think about what they had to say about it all. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.